4-0. These Cougars are rolling.
The fire for the end zone. Roberts there. Touchdown! Chase is on the case. Into the end zone for the score.
Now, the BYU Cougars try to get win number 5. Can they stay in the hunt at the top of the Big 12 standings? This is KSL's special extended pregame coverage. BYU, Baylor. Our hosts are Mitch, Harper, and Matt Baiamonte on Utah's legacy home of the Cougars, KSL News Radio.
It certainly won't be easy for the undefeated BYU Cougars. It's a challenge as they're on the road in Waco, where we're at, getting you ready for the Bears and the Cougars' 5th overall meeting. Last time out, it was Jaron Hall and the Cougs getting the win at home over the Bears. They were a top 10 team at the time. Jeff Grimes was on that staff. A lot has changed since then. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. And let's break it down further, Mitch, with a segment we do every single game day, a deep cut, a deep preparation segment for you here, BYU fans.
3 and out. A quick hit look at BYU's next opponent on the gridiron. It's 3 and out on Cougar Sports Saturday.
That's right. It's 3 and out, and it's where we give you a stat, some players to watch, and some bold predictions. And with any drive that starts with the quarterback from 2 years ago, Jaron Hall, or Jake Retzlaff today, you got to start things off with one of the most important downs.
First down.
Okay, first down, we'll give you a stat to watch in today's matchup between BYU and Baylor. For you, Matt, what's the stat you're keeping your eyes on?
I keep harping on this because it really worries me, but my stat is number 15. That represents BYU's ranking in the Big 12 on third down conversion percentage offensively. It's bad, Mitch. It's really bad, and you just have to be better on the road. I know they're 4th in the conference in fourth down conversion, so that helps, but I don't like the idea that you're constantly relying on a fourth down conversion to keep a drive going. This is the type of game where if you go 2 of 13 on third down, Mitch, you could be asking for a loss. Like, you have to be better. I'm not saying you need to convert on 70% of your third downs or anything here, but you got to find a way. You cannot be hovering near the bottom of the conference in third down conversion percentage and have the type of season that we think they can have. This is the type of game where there's going to be difficulties, but if you can keep moving the ball on third down, you've got a great chance to win.
I like that a lot. And a stat that I've been impressed by from BYU through their 2 games against Power 4 competition this year, it's the number 0. That's the number of passing touchdowns allowed against Power 4 opponents this season. BYU's been outstanding against P4 competition, and I bring that tidbit up because BYU is tied with Georgia, one of the top teams in the country. They're going to face Alabama today. BYU and Georgia are the only 2 programs to hold Power 4 competition without passing touchdowns in multiple games this year. BYU's defense is playing great, and they shut down a Kansas State team that last week, they were rolling high, K-State. They scored 28 points or more in 11 consecutive games. BYU's defense in the secondary is playing some big-time football right now.
Second down.
All right, Mitch, this is where we give you some players to watch. We can give you some names on both sides of the ball, but let's start with the ranked Cougars. For me, it is running back Sione Moa. Can he continue that stellar debut last week, Mitch? Because it was electric against Kansas State. But the question with Sione is he even going to play?
That is a big question because he was spotted on campus. Credit to the student reporter at the Daily Universe, the campus paper at BYU, Chase Rogers. He spotted Sione Aimoa walking around campus with a boot on. And keep in mind, sometimes when players get banged up, that could be a precautionary deal, yet they still end up playing. But offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick did point out or acknowledge that they needed to make a decision on Sione Aimoa this week because he got banged up at the end of the Kansas State game. And it was interesting, too, this week, Matt. Kalani Sitake fielded questions from me and another reporter in the weekly press conference about Moa, who had a brilliant game. I mean, we're talking about him because it was an impactful performance, the likes of which that had people reminded of Tyler Algier. That's kind of the feelings I had watching Sione Moa run all over the field against K-State. They call him None on the team. But Kalani said, guys, we got other guys. Like, we don't want to give him a big head. And I just kind of thought that was interesting at the moment when Kalani did that, because if you ask directly about a player, Kalani's going to spotlight a guy. And it felt like, something is off there when Kalani is saying that. And, well, come to find out, he got banged up a little bit. But we will see today if he does end up giving it a go. And if there's no Moa, that means you have Hinckley Rapati, who is back. He's been practicing this week. You got Miles Davis, Enoch Nawahine, and Pokayawa Hunga. So, man, that running back unit just keeps getting banged up each and every week, it seems like, Matt.
Yeah, they're finding a way, but that is a major storyline. Can't wait to see what you find out when you get to McLean Stadium here in a little bit.
Yeah, other players to watch for me, Jake Retzloff, of course. He's got to have just a game where he doesn't, cough up the football again. And I thought it was noteworthy last week when he had he took a big sack, and in the moment you're thinking, you got to get rid of it, Jake. But I was kind of okay with the sack, and I think Aaron Roderick even pointed to this in the coordinator's corner, because we've seen Jake go down and take it and not take the sack like we saw against SMU, and he throws a pick. Just, live to see another day. I think Jake made a significant strides last week. Jack Kelly, linebacker, and then for Baylor, keep an eye on their quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. Will it be him or is it DeQuan Finn? Robertson's played better this past 2 weeks, but I would expect that's the case, but we'll see what ends up happening later today.
Let's get to third down, Mitch.
Third down.
All right, third down, we give you some bold predictions. I'll start things off, Matt. I'll go bold here. Will Ferrin boots 3 field goals. I don't think Kalani wants to hear that sort of bold prediction, but I think there could be some drives that stall. This could be a low-scoring game. Will Ferrin comes up big and hits 3 field goals in this one. What about you?
You mentioned it on second down, but I think Jake Retzlaff will have another turnover-free game. I think he's getting better. I think he's progressing. His decision-making was improved in the win against Kansas State. The only way BYU, in my opinion, loses this game is if the offense coughs it over a couple times. You don't do that, you have a great chance to win.
And, folks, you've got a great chance to have great dinners every single night with Beehive Meals and beehivemeals.com. Look, you go to their website, and they are the best meal prep service around. Matt and I have been eating from Beehive Meals for the past month and a half, and, Matt, we can vouch for it. I mean, Beehive Meals is top-notch meal prep.
The menu this month has been fantastic, Mitch. Creamy lemon chicken, burrito bowls, apple cider pork roast. These guys are legit. And it's something I love too, man, because this BYU fan base, it is a national fan base. It is unique, and I think you're starting to see that each and every week, just how passionate this fan base is. Beehive Meals has a passion to get their service to as many people as possible. Starting this fall, they're extending their reach to people in California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Wyoming. Like, they are a fast rising company, and there's no surprise why, based off our experience with them, because it's easy, it tastes good, and it makes a difference in your family.
And it's a family business. They were founded in late 2019, so right before the pandemic, and it just started in their kitchen, and it's grown to where they're serving the Intermountain West. They're serving Idaho, Arizona. I mean, Beehive Meals is outstanding. The quality is great too, and the versatility that you get with Beehive Meals, where you get the food, but then you can do so much with it. You brought out the chicken bowls; those have been really good. So Beehive Meals, go check them out. BeehiveMeals.com, and they are the proud meal prep sponsor of BYU Athletics, which is pretty cool. They're heavily involved with our communities. BeehiveMeals.com. We're taking our final time out. BYU, Baylor score predictions next, right here from Waco.